Another gorgeous day in Wrigleyville as the Cubs wrap up a homestand that has seen them win 6 of the first 7. They're within a game and a half of first in the National League Central. Final home game before the All-Star break. It's the Hyundai leadoff man before the Reds and Cubs play the rubber match. Great to have you with us from the booth. Jim Deshaies and Len Casper. What a thriller yesterday as the comeback Cubs did it again.
Yeah, Cubs have been really good late all year long. They overcame 2 5-run deficits in the ball game yesterday.
5-0 they were down, and after this Joey Votto hit off Tyler Chatwood, they were down 7-2 in the 6th inning. And then eventually the comeback was on. And it started with Randy Rosario's first major league hit.
Yeah, second major league plate appearance. So far so good. He's walked, and now a 1-for-1 with an RBI single. That made it 7-3. You see Votto with the congratulations. He was really good out of the bullpen too. He was a game saver. And then Javi Baez went deep for the 17th time. Almost looked like he pulled off that ball a little bit, but strong man, quick bat. He's able to hit that one into the bleachers. And then the big noise all came in the 8th.
Ben Zobrist knocking in a couple on this double. That made it a 1-run game. Baez running on the play, or Baez rather, with the infield hit to tie the game at 7-7 off Jared Hughes, the sinker baller, and then Baez running as the Cubs stay out of the double play. Anthony Rizzo, a ground out RBI that made it 8-7.
Yeah, if the Cubs were able to keep it close, they'd have a chance to come back because the Reds bullpen was a little bit depleted. Iglesias, their closer, was not available. Brandon Morrow, however, was, and he came in to finish things off.
So Morrow with his 20th save of the season. The Cubs' last 8 games, they have trailed in all of those games, only 1 loss as they dropped a 3-2 decision on Friday. Yesterday's win snapped a 5-game losing streak for the Cubs against the Reds, who've had their number this season. The Cubs just 4-7. We've got a Kris Bryant injury update. We'll hear from the manager, Joe Maddon, as we continue from beautiful Wrigley Field.
And Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Test drive a Hyundai today.
We've got an update on Kris Bryant. KRIS battling back from the left shoulder injury, and he's going to head out on a rehab assignment. So flying today, and he'll play with AA Tennessee at least for the next couple of days. 68 games there in 2014. He hit .355. So a lot of fond memories of Tennessee for Kris Bryant, and he's been happy to watch the Cubs have success even without him. Here's Joe Maddon.
It always is when the guys that are the normal regular players are out of the lineup. They want to see the group do well. They always feel responsible if it doesn't play better. So that's typical, and that's good that he had said that. But we have missed them. We've kept their head above water. MVP, perennial kind of an all-star player. We do want to need him back. So get out and play a little bit. We're looking forward possibly to have him back in San Francisco. We'll see how it plays out the next couple days. Like with all these guys when they go on rehab, I tell them, you tell me how you feel. Like, this is what we're planning, but if you need more time, then you take more time. But if not, then we could possibly work you into San Francisco. So once he gets out and gets playing, he'll know exactly how he feels. I'm saying that because he knows how that feels, and is he restricted? Is he not want to go to a certain spot because he knows it's going to bite? So all of a sudden you alter things, both knowingly and unknowingly. You know that it hurts, but unknowingly you're not doing something that you've normally done in the past that permits the power. So we're going to find out, I'm sure. I mean, when he comes back, and if he is feeling better, how does it play out? How does it get re-aggravated? Can he play with some method of discomfort? We're going to find all that out. So. But to say, you might be right, it may have something to do with that from his perspective unknowingly.
Yeah, and still honoring the Hall of Famer Ron Santo, that great statue out at the corner of Sheffield and Addison. Reds and Cubs coming up.
Cubs.
Holy cow! Yeah! Beautiful day in Chicago, and we have Cubs baseball for you here on WGN Sports. Rubber game of a 3-game series. Cubs playing well. They have won 7 of their last 8. The Reds are a last place club, but they have been really good over the last month plus. Welcome to the booth. Along with Jim DeShays, I'm Len Casper. The Cubs are likely tonight to find out they will have multiple All-Stars on the National League squad, and for a few position players, maybe for the first time.
Yeah, Wilson Contreras, so last time we checked, had moved into first place among the catchers in the balloting. Javi Baez, obviously, with a very compelling case, likely to be an All-Star. Albert Almora has been surging lately, having a great first half. He also could find himself heading to the All-Star game. These guys, check out the numbers. Contreras batting .500 over the last 6 games, Baez .379, and Albert .391 over the last 7. Here's a guy we feel really confident will be going the pitcher of the month in June in the National League. John Lester, over his last 6 starts, 6-0 with a 1.46, tied for the league lead in wins, 3rd in ERA.
Luis Castillo has really good stuff. It hasn't always gone well for him this year, but he was good his last time out.
Yeah, it's still work in progress. He's got a big arm. He's got a very good changeup, and last time really good against the Sox. 6 2/3, and allowed just 1 run.
Cubs coming back after being down 5 runs on 2 different occasions yesterday. We'll see what transpires on a gorgeous Sunday. Reds and Cubs next.
Budweiser. Join the team that enjoys responsibly. Budweiser reminds you to drink wiser. Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. Lexus. Experience amazing. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Choose Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all. And by Volkswagen. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer or VWDealer.com for the Volkswagen dealer near you.
Chicago Cubs baseball in sparkling high definition is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. Jim Riggleman's Reds lineup. Billy Hamilton stays in the 9 spot, but he has been on base a lot in this series. So Peraza, Barnhart, and Votto to start it. Suarez, Jeanette, and Duvall in the middle. Winker, the pitcher Castillo, and Mr. Hamilton.
Cubs defensively, Kyle Schwarber plays left today. Albert Almora Jr. is in center. Jason Hayward back out in right field. He had to leave with a little injury yesterday, but good to go today. Happ returns to third base for the 6th time this year as a starter. Russell and Baez up the middle. Big Riz at first. Wilson Contreras behind the plate. And our Blue Cross Blue Shield starting pitcher is the big lefty John Lester. Choose Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all. And Big John making his 18th start, and boy, what a year he is having. 11-2, third best ERA in the league at 2.25. He's been lights out here, 5-1 with a 1.49 ERA here at home. He's going to come after these Reds hitters with this mix: fastball, cutter, curveball, change.
Set the umpires for you. It's Trip Gibson behind the plate. Brian Gorman is the crew chief at first base. Mike Malinsky at second, and Adrian Johnson is over at third. Cubs picked up a game on Milwaukee. The Brewers lost to the Braves yesterday.
Can't play today. You can't play, man. This is a beautiful day for baseball.
Phillies and Braves tied for first in the NL East. Diamondbacks a 1-game lead on the Dodgers. Central Division tight. A lot of close races as we near the All-Star break. And the one race that's not close is the AL Central. The Indians with a 10.5-game lead. And everybody else, the rest of that division, at least 10 games under 500.
Yeah, that's kind of. A lot of folks thought that would shake out over there.
Here we go. Jose Peraza takes inside and low from Lester to get us started.
John 6-1 lifetime against the Reds with a 4.07. He's made 14 starts against them. His last 5, he's pitched winning baseball.
Popped him up. Is calling for it, and he'll be called off by Almora.
Plenty of options with the ball that high in the air, but the center fielder takes priority. Lester, as I was mentioning recently against the Reds, he's managed to win games, but they've gotten to him. He's got a 5.92 ERA against them over his last 5.
Gorgeous weather. 81 degrees, but a nice breeze off Lake Michigan. Switch hitting Tucker Barnhart. A 1-hopper to third. Ian Happ makes the play. 2 quick outs. And it will bring up Joey Votto. But all kinds of good stuff on John Lester. He's won 7 consecutive starts for the first time in his career. The Cubs have won 14 of his 17 outings. JD mentioned he was the pitcher of the month in June in the NL. The Cubs have won 12 of his 14 career starts versus Cincinnati, and a ground ball toward the middle, backhanded by Baez, and that is a 4-pitch first inning. That might be a record for John. Cubs coming up. Net. Hayward hitless in the series. Baez, Rizzo, Contreras, and Schwarber in the middle. Ian Happ has murdered Reds pitching so far this season. Russell, the shortstop, had a quietly very good day at the plate yesterday. And John Lester homered in his previous start.
Reds defensively, Hamilton in center, Duvall left, Winker right, Suarez, Peraza, Jeanette Votto, and Tucker Barnhart. He was a Gold Glove Award winner last year. Behind the dish, Luis Castillo, 25-year-old right-hander, 6'2", $190. Get into the upper 90s with his fastball. 18 starts so far, 5-8 with a 5.53 earned run average.
Almora swings at the first pitch and a high fly into right center. Circling is Winker. I think he thought Hamilton had a beat on it, but Winker puts it away. So we've seen 5 pitches in this game and 4 outs have been recorded.
Everybody's in go mode here today. 3-pitch mix for Castillo. Fastball, as you mentioned, he can really light up the radar gun. He's throwing his sinker more this year, but he's getting fewer ground balls, so that's kind of counterintuitive. The changeup is a plus pitch for him. He also has a slider.
Jason Hayward had a big day defensively on Friday. And he got knocked out of the game early yesterday. Fouled a ball at the groin area. And he takes a strike, I guess, on the outside corner. We were trying to find if John Lester had ever had a 4-pitch first inning prior to today. It's not easy to do. Castillo signed originally with the Giants in 2011, traded to Miami, traded to San Diego, traded back to Miami, traded to Cincinnati. Swing and a miss. That's
a good changeup. Yep. Good separation too. Averaging 95 miles per hour with the heater. That changeup 85-86.
Kicks and throws, and it's full. There's Baez coming off a 4-hit day on deck. Ball 4. Hayward draws the walk. Baez hitting .415 over his last 24 games. I feel real good about his chances of being on the National League All-Star team. We will not know officially who made it until early this evening, as the Cubs are ready to fly to San Francisco. I believe the players who have made it have probably already been notified. One shoo-in we know about is John Lester. He'll be an All-Star for the 5th time. And
so many of these Cub hitters have been really hot, and Baez among the leaders of the pack. .465 over the last 10 with an OPS over 1200.
Pretty well to right. Winker over near the corner, and he's not going to get it. Hayward on his way to third. He will be held there. That was a catchable ball, a circuitous route by Winker. And the Cubs are in business.
Yesterday, Scott Schebler was in right field for the Reds. He's a better outfielder than Winker. He had difficult with the pop-ups. He had a hard time tracking the ball. I don't know if that's why Winker's out there today. Jim Riggleman just wanted him in the lineup today. But the reputation of Winker defensively is not strong, and he really drifts. There, obviously, a sense of urgency was needed there, and he didn't show much.
So the Reds will play their infield back except at third.
This is not an easy place to play for a young player like Winker, with the wind and the sky and the well out there.
Rizzo with his NL leading 11th game-winning RBI. The ground out in the 8th that plated Zobrist.
I think this is because of Billy Hamilton, but the Winker now is playing as strong to pull as I've ever seen a right fielder for a left-handed hitter. I mean, he's way over there.
Swing and a miss. Our Lexus Run Predictor is brought to you by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer. This is a contact spot for Rizzo, and he's been really good at doing that lately. Chokes up, crowds the plate, taps it foul.
Check out Winker in right field. Way strong pull and very deep. Of course, with Billy Hamilton in center field, I guess you can play your corner outfielders in extreme positioning and just trust Hamilton to run down all those gappers.
Deep breath by the right-hander. And another 0-2, and Rizzo just ended the longest active streak without a strikeout at 41 plate appearances, and a big one for Castillo.
Pitchers under duress tend to go back to their best weapons, and for Castillo it's the changeup, certainly against left-handed hitters.
So you add an out to our Lexus Run Predictor, and that percentage goes down considerably. But a hot hitter at the plate. Contreras in 4 consecutive multi-hit games to start the month of July. He takes a strike. 98.
Yeah, he's got electric stuff. That hurt on his sinker this year. So high batting average on his sinking fastball.
Fouled away. 0-2.
Start against the White Sox for Castillo last time out. He threw strike one 74% of the time, which is way above league average, and it paid off for him. He had a very good outing. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 6 2/3, 1 run.
His 0-2 is tapped foul on a big-time emergency swing. That was very defensive from Contreras.
Yeah, that's what you're going to see on 0-2 when a guy's got a real good changeup. You don't want to get fooled. You try to wait as long as you can, and then it's 97 moving in towards your hands. It's like, uh-oh.
Second and third, 2 outs, first inning. Knocked down by Barnhart, who won the Gold Glove last year. He's really good at all phases defensively.
Last year he threw out 43% to lead the league in caught stealing percentage. Nowhere near that this year. My hunch is a lot of guys just don't try him.
There's no such thing as a bad block by a catcher with a runner at third, but in terms of form, he's as good as it gets.
Yeah, he's real quick. Quickly he reacts and slides out into that blocking position, chest tilted downward to control the rebound.
It's one thing to get in front of a ball in the dirt, but if it hits you in the wrong spot, it'll get 15-20 feet away from you and it'll cost you a run. He centered that one well. A bouncer to Suarez, who charges. Castillo escapes. Little fist pump as he heads off the mound. Cubs strand 2-0 after an inning. Infinity.
There we go. Yeah.
Carlos Gomez, the Tampa Bay Rays, the other night was not real happy. Took out his frustration on the Gatorade jugs. But last night he made up. Although taking some duct tape and attaching a sign to the cooler is not necessarily the best way, right?
Take it out to dinner.
Something, yeah. More than that.
The dugout snap is one of those things that a player can get away with every once in a while. But if you make a habit out of it, you're just going to wear out your teammates and your coaches, and you're going to go, okay, enough, man.
Into left for a base hit. Suarez with a leadoff single. Pretty decent chance he'll be on the All-Star team. The Cubs made a roster move today. Anthony Bass dealing with an illness. He'll end up on the disabled list, so we probably won't see him in action again until after the break. And right-hander James Norwood, selected from Iowa, drafted back in 2014. We had not seen him at big league camp, but he is now in the big leagues. New York native, pitched at St. Louis University. He's in the bullpen. He's available today, and he's a hard thrower. Batter Scooter Gennett takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
The trifecta in the middle of the batting order, the 3-4-5 for the Reds, Votto, Suarez, Gennett, on base all day yesterday, collectively reaching 9 times.
One ball, one strike on Gennett. Putting together an all-star caliber first half. Paused by Lester. Now the pitch. He bounced it, but Contreras able to knock it down.
Yeah, Reds are really good against left-handed pitching. 275 team batting average against lefties, and their left-handed hitters do quite well. Gennett batting 327 against left-handed pitching.
Bounce to first. Step on the bag. They've got Suarez caught in a rundown. Rizzo will catch him. Double play.
Well done by Rizzo here. Ground ball basically takes him to the bag. So step on the bag. Tag play now in order. And the Cubs with one of their more efficient rundowns. 3-6-3 if you're keeping a scorecard.
So 2 outs, nobody on, and it is Adam Duvall, the left fielder. By the way, Suarez with his single now with an 11-game hitting streak. Popped up. Hayward in. John Lester's thrown 11 pitches through 2 innings today.
Zone to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you watch at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape. Pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, and more. Escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape.
Scoreless tie. Kyle Schwarber leads off the home second. Foul strike. One other injury note. We told you on the leadoff man, Kris Bryant is headed to Tennessee along with Brian Dunsing. Dunsing dealing with left shoulder fatigue. Oh, 0-2. High that time.
Schwarbinator.
How about that? 34 homers since the break last year. Third most in the National League. He's got a 6-game hitting streak, and he is the only Cub to have homered off Luis Castillo previously.
Yeah, you know, he's kind of quietly going about putting together a very good year. The batting average is down. That's not a big part of his game. He's patient. He draws all kinds of walks. You really just disregard the batting average. He's got a 374 on base. Slugging just shy of 500.
I love that Giancarlo Stanton was on that list, even though he's now in the American League. He walked him. 0-2 to 4-2. And another guy who's taken a ton of walks, Ian Happ, coming up.
Cub fans, everybody in summer is in full swing, and the best place to spend your summer is at Wrigley Field. Plan now and get tickets to weekend matchups against the Reds, Padres, and Nationals. Support your Cubs to another division title. Visit Cubs.com. Place your orders today.
Against the Reds this season, Happ is slashing .379, .591, and .724. If you're unfamiliar with what those numbers mean, just trust us. It's really, really, really good.
Overall, the numbers are really good. A lot of strikeouts, but controlling the strike zone better, piling up the walks. Going back to the last game of the road trip. The last 8, Cubs batting .353 as a team. 66 runs in those 8 ball games. As we look at Jim Riggleman. Took over for Brian Price early in the year as the Reds got off to a miserable start.
Couple wins away from 700 in his career. Including time with the Cubs. One on Happ. Here it comes. 1-2.
This is the Cubs' 4th look at Castillo. He made one start against him last year, 2 so far this season, and he's pitched pretty well each time. Last year, 6 innings of shutout ball, allowed just a couple of hits. Reds are 3-0 in his 3 starts against the Cubs. He personally 1-0.
Next Cubs home game will be a week from Thursday night. An exclusive against the St. Louis Cardinals. That'll open up a 5-game series right out of the break. 3-2.
Yeah, we're going to have a heavy dose of Redbirds there. 5 here at home, and then get them again on the next road trip.
Yeah, 3-gamer in St. Louis.
With the Diamondbacks in between. It'll be a Diamondback sandwich between 2 sets with the Cardinals.
Fouled off to the left.
It's Be a bit of a sense of urgency in St. Louis. They're just 4 games better than 500, 6.5 games off the pace.
They're in San Francisco today. The Giants made a trade with the Texas Rangers. More on that a little later as time permits.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Did they get Joey Gallo?
That's a Jack Flaherty Madison Bumgarner matchup today, so the Cubs will not see Bumgarner.
This is where pitchers like to go changeup or elevated fastball, and with Castillo you would think changeup. We went heater at 97.
Giants have been banged up this year. They're not scoring runs right now. They just put Joe Panik on the DL again. They got Johnny Cueto back. He did not pitch well Thursday. He'll face the Cubs on Tuesday. Former Cub Jeff Samardzija returned from the DL yesterday and will not pitch in that upcoming series. The Cubs will face Pudge Rodriguez's son Derek in that series. There's a base hit to center, and the Cubs have 2 on with nobody out. Boy, is Ian Happ locked in.
Well, it's tough part of the equation, obviously, for a pitcher, but the ability to execute a game plan and locate probably more important. And I think that's what we're seeing a little bit from Castillo. We talked about the way most guys would go after Happ there, and the last thing you're going to do is throw him a fastball over the heart of the plate above the knees. That's kind of in his sweet zone.
So bottom of the order here, and a chance to grab the early lead. Russell yesterday 2 hits, including a double. He walked, knocked in a run, scored twice. And a half swing for strike 1.
I'm not saying this is the case with Castillo, but I think what happens with a lot of young guys, their stuff is so good. They get through the minor leagues, they get to the big leagues without really figuring out the craft of pitching. They just stuff their way to the big leagues.
Swing and a miss.
Probably retire 18 in a row now. Home run's been a bit of a bugaboo for him. He's allowed 18 home runs this year. And again, the ground ball rate is still better than league average at 45%. But last year was almost 60%.
Low to make it 1-2. Cubs are making him work. He's getting ahead in the count, but having trouble putting guys away. Walked Schwarber after starting 0-2. It was 0-1 on Happ, took him to a full count before Ian singled. And it's now 2-2. Throw to second, and Schwarber just got back ahead of the throw and tag.
They're looking for an opportunity to advance, but Barnhart made a nice play on it. Kyle had to scramble back. Secondary lead, ball in dirt. He's thinking about it. Just enough time to scramble back.
Out of the right center, it's going to drop. Schwarber coming around third will score easily. Solely in Happ. It's a double for Russell. First time in the last 9 games the Cubs have scored first. 3 consecutive Cubs with 2 strikes reaching base to start the second.
Talked about the fastball and the changeup. His slider is probably his least effective pitch. He makes a mistake with it here. He thrown him a good one earlier. This one stays on the plate. Just doesn't really have very good action. And Addy again exploiting the opposite field. Comes one into the alley in right center to plate 2. Yeah, what are the Cubs going to do with a lead now? This is foreign territory here.
Lester got his second career curtain call after his second career home run off Lance Lynn last Sunday versus the Twins. The Cubs won that wild game 11-10. Two balls, no strikes on the pitcher. That's his power zone. He's got a real nice swing and has gotten pretty comfortable as a National League pitcher. And he held up. It's 3-0.
Well, one of the reports we got on Castillo is pretty much what we're seeing right here. He could be going along nicely, but score a couple runs and he'll get a little timid and start to pitch away from contact.
Right down the middle, 3-1. Meanwhile, John, for the first time in his career, has needed just 11 pitches to get through 2 innings in a start. When he takes the ball in the third, he'll have at least a 2-0 lead. StatCast is powered by AWS. As we check out Russell's double. Exit velocity 93.7. Not great, but it was nicely placed. All about location, JD.
Real estate.
Swing and a miss on a fastball. Lester made him work. That's the first out of the inning. Stepping in is Almora. Fly to right in the first.
Castillo debuted last year and he pitched well. 15 starts. He had a losing record at 3-7, but a 3.12 earned run average. That led all National League rookies, as did the opponent batting average against of just 202.
It's his 46th pitch.
Anthony Darwin, who's now the pitching coach of the Reds, has got a little bit of a project on his hands. Kid with a good arm, potential to really be something, but got to figure out some things. As the league gets to know him a little bit better, they've made some adjustments.
We got confirmation from Stats that that was John Lester's first ever 4-pitch first inning in a start. Third time he's needed just 4 to get through any inning. Previously had done it in New York 2008 and against the Indians back in 2015. 3-0 on Almora. A bunch of deep counts for Castillo here in the second. There's a 3-1. Bounced right to Suarez. Thought about getting Russell in a rundown, but instead gets out number 2.
The Cubs are celebrating Bud Fridays in the Budweiser bleachers all season long. On Friday the 20th, Cubs Cardinals, first pitch 120, and up to the first 5,000 early arriving Budweiser bleacher adults age 21 and older receive a pair of Cubs bottle opener sunglasses presented by Budweiser. Pictured there, they're handsome. For details, visit Cubs.com/Fridays.
It's an intriguing combo.
Yeah.
Hayward fouls. 0-1. How about that? All of his home runs have come with men on base. Hey, there's a guy on base. Baez with quick feet to get out of the way of that screamer. By the way, that's what fans used to scream at Paul McCartney.
What's that?
Hey, there's a guy on base. Not just any guy, it's Paul.
Sir Paul.
Called strike 3. Boy, Hayward.
By it. That's what he walked him with last time.
He's had 2 strike calls he was not happy with. 2-0 Cubs after 2.
Play. How about Mark Reynolds last night? Completely going off. The Nationals crushed the Marlins. He drove in 10. Just a couple of days after his teammate Trey Turner drove in 8. Now brought to you by IDOT, reminding you that safe driving habits really are a matter of life or death. Learn more at lifeordeathillinois.com.
Jesse Winker leads off the Reds' 3rd. Cubs lead 2-0 on the double by Addison Russell.
And perhaps you're wondering, is that the most RBIs ever in a game? No, it is not. 12. 2 gentlemen did it. Sonny Jim Bottomley back in 1924 and hard-hitting Mark Whitten in 93.
It's going to take Rizzo near the bag. Lester covering. And it goes 3-1. Will Myers 3 home runs in a 20-5 loss at Arizona. He is the first player ever to hit 3 homers in a game in which his team lost by double digits.
Did he have to pretend to be sad in the clubhouse after the game because his team got thumped?
I don't think you should.
No. But you can't have as much fun as your team won. Peralta had a big night. There was some big, fat, crooked numbers going up on the board yesterday in MLB.
Castillo grounds to Baez, so Lester uses his efficient ways.
Reds must have a train to catch.
Hey, Chicagoland viewers, it's time for the Subway 3rd inning triple play promotion. Text Subway to 97999. Right now, the 300th texter gets a $30 gift card to a Subway restaurant in the Chicagoland area. Subway, so much sandwich. Here's Billy Hamilton. Career .333 with 2 homers against John. He is 6 out of 7 plus a walk in the series, 3 steals, 2 runs. Saturday was the 6th career 3-hit, 3 stolen base game.
No food up there for Hamilton. Yeah, he's got 20 career home runs, 2 of them against John. He has 2 home runs against John and Jamison Tyone of the Pirates. The only pitchers he has more than 1 against in his career.
First and third pulled in. And he went after that one. According to Trip Gibson. So it's 1-2. He got 2-1 on the board, but Gibson called it a strike. Reds lead the season series 7-4. Including today. 8 games here at Wrigley Field. Hit pretty well. Schwarber in, now back, and it's over his head. And Hamilton will have a double. The first movement by Kyle toward the infield ended up costing him.
Hamilton, solid contract. He's been hitting the ball harder this year than he has in the past. He's also been taking more walks. It just didn't look like it was going to end well from the get-go for Kyle.
He's played a very good left field this season, particularly with his throwing. Peraza looks at a curve, just missed.
It's been one of the things, one of the adjustments John has made this year, using that curveball on 0-0 more than he has in the past. Overall, the curveball changeup combo has been really good for him. This thing cutter.
We see Hamilton on the move here, even with 2 outs.
You never rule it out.
He takes off, and he'll get there as Hat did not move from his position. It's number 20 on the year for Hamilton.
I saw the Cubs do this on a couple occasions yesterday. What you lose here is the defensive team with a man stealing third base and 2 outs isn't as great as you know, the risk you take in breaking to cover the bag and potentially opening up a hole on the infield, especially if you feel like your chances of throwing the guy out are so small.
And they're going to get on the board as Hamilton will trot home. Peraza is going to try for 2, and he's going to be out. Albert Almora throws out Peraza. The Reds do get that run. Midway in the 3rd, it's the Cubs 2, Cincinnati 1.
Idea to try to get into scoring position, but Almora, who's played so well out there, makes another fine play. Under control, strong throw. The one thing from Peraza's point of view, the play was in front of him the whole time. A little surprised he didn't go with the little head first, try to do a little evasive action like we see Baez do so often.
Swinging strike to Baez.
Watching Peraza run there, rounding first base, you get the sense he was like, "Wow, should I? Shouldn't I? Yeah, what the heck? I'll go for it."
Yeah, he looked a little tentative.
Yeah. Again, it's not a bad idea with 2 outs to force the action, to try to get into scoring position. He's a base stealer, so that would have been the other option, settle in at first and try to steal second. You see him, he's kind of breaking it down and then decides to go for it. Maybe he was trying to deke Albert. I'm just going to settle in here. Albert's not going to fall for that.
The storyline early for Castillo, he's getting ahead of a lot of hitters and he has not been able to put them away. Might be a combination of the Cubs are seeing him well and not biting, but do you sense that he's nibbling a little bit when he gets ahead?
In certain situations, yeah. And to me, you know, I think that mechanically there's one thing I think he's even though he's got really good arm, I think hitters probably see him well.
Ground ball to third, played to the side by Suarez.
He's got a bit of a soft front side when he comes towards home plate. His front arm kind of drops, and I think there's a lack of deception there. As we talked about, 2 guys moving in opposite directions. Castillo, his ERA, the second largest increase in Major League Baseball, and Lester, who's cut 2.08 runs off of his, the biggest decrease in MLB. See how his front arm, just see, he just kind of drops it and sweeps it to the left. I think it gives the hitters a good look.
Outside 2-0 on Rizzo. In the air to center field. As Hamilton will grab it.
Cub fans, don't forget to check out the Cubs blog at WGNTV.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. One of the better sliders he has thrown.
Ground ball into right. Aggressive turn by Contreras. Here's the throw by Winker. That's going to end the inning. So Peraza, who got thrown out, makes a tag to get Contreras. And the Cubs do go down somewhat in order.
The fourth inning brought to you by Wendy's 4 for $4, now with more choices than ever at participating locations for a limited time.
Teased the Giants trade today. Right-handed reliever Corey Guerin and veteran outfielder Austin Jackson, along with a pitching prospect, go to the Rangers for a player to be named later or cash consideration. So that trade cleared the way for the Giants to promote Steven Duggar, their center field prospect. We saw him in spring training. They also brought up Ray Black, a right-handed reliever. So we'll have to do some homework on Steven Duggar for that series coming up in San Francisco. He's leading off today in what will be his major league debut.
Giants got to find some offense. They really struggled to score runs.
That's why they did that.
The Brewers have called up one of their top pitching prospects, a fellow by the name of Corbin Burns.
I played third for the Indians in Major
Yes.
League. Barnhart rounds to Baez. Time now to see who's got momentum. Brought to you by First Midwest Bank. First Midwest Bank Connect with a momentum maker today. All right, 30 homers. And a slash line of 3-4-5 against the Cubs. That is a good list.
Yeah, they're all Hall of Famers, and a Hall of Famer in waiting in Joey Votto.
The Brewers have put up 5 in the third inning against Sean Newcomb, and they're still batting. Hernan Perez with a 3-run homer.
Newcomb's had a very good year so far. I think he got knocked around pretty good his last start as well.
It's Junior Guerra today for Milwaukee. Votto is at that age where you start looking at some all-time lists. On the intentional walk list, he is tied for the Reds' all-time lead with Johnny Bench, 135. 265 homers, tied with Matt Stairs for second all-time among Canadian-born players. He is the active on-base leader at 428. And that matches what he has done so far this season, leading the National League.
All-time on base percentage, 428, good for 11th best. Just behind Jimmy Fox, just ahead of Tris Speaker.
Really choking up. Get a bit earlier as he walks. Let's step aside, see what's coming up on WGN. Two-1 Cubs lead, 4th inning. Rubber game. Final game of the homestand. I believe it was Buster Olney. I apologize if I got that wrong, but asked him about his choke-up positions, and he gave 3 different ones. A 2-strike approach, but whatever. And then he had one where he put his hands halfway up the bat, and he said, "This is against Clayton Kershaw." All 1 to Suarez. He and Rizzo in a deep debate over there at first. And one or the other is on base. They usually carry on quite a conversation.
I'd like to get that mic'd up. That would be
yes
interesting.
Well, I told the story the last time we saw the Reds. I'll tell it again. And Brandon Hyde was the Cubs' first base coach. Votto had just made an out. It was either last year or the year before. And when he got out there, he said, "Hey, Hyder, I'm this close." His index finger was just a millimeter away from his thumb. And then he made a motion with his hands. He said, "I'm here and I should be here." And Brandon said he reached the next 9 consecutive plate appearances. So he wasn't lying.
Wasn't trying to talk himself into anything. He knew he was that close.
That's drilled deep to left, and it's gonna go. A home run for Suarez, just continuing to strengthen his all-star bid. He's hit 2 here the last couple of days, and the Reds have the lead 3-2. '68 RBIs to lead the league.
3-0 green light, a 19th home run on the year for Suarez. He's a star. I mean, he's not a household name, but he is a big-time player. He loads up and then unloads. Reds got him in December of 2014 for Alfredo Simon from the Tigers. Maybe wants a mulligan on that one.
Well, do you want the glass half full analysis?
Okay.
This is the 9th consecutive game the Cubs have trailed, and they've won 7 of the first 8.
John Lester in this ballpark. Well, John Lester, period, has been a winning formula, but in this ballpark, especially, the Cubs are 7-1 in his starts here. As Len mentioned at the outset, 14-3 in his 17 starts this year. That's an .824 winning percentage, 3rd best in baseball, best in the National League. Only 2 guys whose teams have a better record when they start are Severino and Cole over there in the American League. Luis and Garrett, respectively.
John was starting his motion and then hit the brakes. So a reset. And a 1-2. A little bit outside. I'm always fascinated by all-star teams. And guys become teammates for a couple days who face each other a ton. And you know, Suarez and Lester are likely to be together in about 10 days. Or 9 days. I wonder if that at bat will come up. I guess sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, I would assume that the pitcher would be more likely to bring it up than the hitter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if the hitter had struck out 12 in a row, consecutive plate appearances, he'd be the guy.
Yeah, it'd be, dude, you own me.
Right.
Said,
Jim Hickey to the mound.
I'm just lucky. I'm just having bad days when I face you.
Well, talking with Joe Maddon, who managed the National League last year, he really enjoyed it and got to know a lot of players against whom he has managed throughout the years. I think there's always an acknowledgement, even when you don't know guys on the other side, that you assume they're good guys, but when you play against them, you don't want to know that. Adam Duvall. Curve just missed. There had to be a guy you hated and then met and thought, oh man, it's really hard to not like this guy.
Let me give that some thought.
Okay. And I'm not saying you hated him because he wasn't a good guy, but maybe you just hated him.
Well, there's
because
certain guys, their actions on the field.
Right.
You know, come on, man. And I think that's tolerated more than it was back in the day. You dislike the guy's actions, and then maybe he got traded over to your club. Yeah, he's not a bad guy. He's just, you hear that all the time. I guess when I was broadcasting in Houston, Jose Lima would be that guy.
Mm-hmm. Double play chance. 6-4. 3. Good visit by Jim Hickey as Lester has a little conversation with Trip Gibson. 3-2 Reds.
MasterCard debit card, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC.
Three to two Reds on the Suarez two-run homer. Kyle Schwarber takes a strike inside corner. He walked to lead off the second and scored on the two-run double by Russell. Oh, 0-2. He was 0-2 his first time before walking. Taken low.
A lot of pitching coaches will tell you when you get a guy 0-2, take one shot to get a chase and then try to get back into the zone. I mean, obviously you don't want to throw a cookie here. Top of the zone, could have gotten it. You have to know your opponent too. You have to know who's going to chase, who stays in the zone, and the guys that are disciplined, you might as well attack them early.
Almost hit him, and he's gone full. And Happ on deck. This is the combo that got everything going in the second. '25-year-old Castillo on another 3-2 and a fly ball to deep left. Back on it, Duvall. It's off the wall. He's got to chase it down. And Schwarber will stop at second with a double. Just missed a home run.
Oh, what a day he's had. 0-2 both times. First time works a walk. This time gets back to full and then hits a bullet off the wall the other way. Two-seamer running away from him. He just rides it to left field with authority. Lead double, got to cash it in.
He continues his excellent work here at home. He's hit in 7 straight. And the batter is Happ. First pitch. High. He's got a good start yesterday from Matt Harvey. 2 earned in 5 2/3. Tyler Mahle, a career best 6 2/3. 1 run allowed in a win Friday.
Pitching has been much improved over the last 3 weeks. A lot of games.
Base hit to center. Schwarber had to make sure the liner got through, so he'll have to stop at third. Happ 2 for 2. Just wearing out the Reds.
This one leaks back over the heart of the plate. And that's, for me, that's been the biggest issue. Just the fastballs, a bunch of them right over the middle of the plate.
Comes Danny Darwin, their pitching coach.
I go back and he made 15 starts last year and was effective. I go back to that point about young guys coming through the minor leagues, sometimes not being tested because they just beat people with their stuff. Here it is, hit it, and they can't. You get up here it is, you hit it, you're backing up bases.
They've got action in their bullpen. Right-hander Michael Lorenzen. Castillo has been dodging traffic really all day.
Well, and that's the other part of it. This is not a fun team to pitch to, especially right now. There's so many guys swinging the bat so well. No easy outs in this lineup.
There have not been. Russell got him for a 2-run double his first time. They'll play for 2 on the infield and give up the tying run. Swing and a miss. 97 on a good fastball. Russell's average up to 285.
You know, even that one, it's by him, but it's thigh high right over the heart of the plate.
Way wide on a slider. 1-1.
The Home Run Derby mobile game is back with more competition, more challenge, and more dingers than ever before. Enter the code All-Star DC to unlock exclusive All-Star gear at MLB.com/HRD game. I don't understand any of that.
But you read it well.
I read it anyway.
Bounce to the shortstop. Throw to second. 1. No relay throw. RBI fielder's choice. Russell. Tie ball game. 3-3. He's knocked in all 3 Cubs runs.
And into the dirt in front of home plate, softly hit. Peraza takes a look at home, then makes the play to second base. Now, normally, if you're not playing in, you're playing a double play depth. You don't consider the play home. You just go ahead and think 2. I don't know if it would have mattered.
Otto holds on Russell. Lester bats with a man on, 1 out. Tie ball game, 4th inning. That's a big lead he got back in. Of Addison's 31 RBIs over the last 9 games as he took off and Lester fouled. So a hit and run with the pitcher. Bunt. Sacrifice 1-3 by Lester. Stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. We'll have Harry Carey on the video board and you can sing along as well. A shot here with 2 outs and a man at second to retake the lead. Swing and a miss. He referenced his major league debut Castillo last year. The year before he was the Miami Marlins minor league pitcher of the year. He has been in this spot a lot today. But the Cub hitters have made him work really hard to get that 3rd strike or the out. far he's got 3 strikeouts, has walked 2, and given up 6 hits. Hit pretty well, and it's going to be caught by Duvall. Just hung up there enough for the left fielder to grab it. Tie game, 3-3 after 4. Let's go places. Most consecutive starts with a win and 2 or fewer earned runs allowed. John Lester with 6 going into today. That streak will come to an end as he has surrendered 3. But Arrieta, Bob Rush, and always good when you're in company with Pete Alexander.
Well, Pete, Grover Cleveland, the Hall of Famer. Bob Rush pitched for the Cubs in 1948 through 1957, made a couple of all-star teams. Born in Battle Creek, went to high school in South Bend. I wasn't familiar with Bob. I had to look him up. Had a nice career, though.
1-0 to Winker is low and outside. Scott Schebler not in the lineup, as we mentioned. He is 0 for 11 lifetime against Lester. Winker is 0 for 3. And a ground out victim in the 3rd inning today. That's a strike and a cutter. It's 2-1.
It's interesting to contrast the 2 pitchers here today. The young kid Castillo with the big arm, who has a hard time commanding it, and Lester, the veteran, is a little below average in terms of fastball velocity, but pitchability off the charts. Really knows how to move the ball in and out.
Behind here, 3 balls and a strike. Ground foul.
On Sunday, July 22nd, Cubs Cardinals, first pitch 120, and up to the first 5,000 early arriving kids 13 and younger will take home a Cubs pillowcase presented by MasterCard. And as always on Sundays, an opportunity to run the bases after the game for the first 1,000 kids 13 and younger.
Ball strike 3. Painted. That is his first strikeout.
again, the difference we talked about, when you look at the spray chart for John, you're going to find very few balls in the middle of the strike zone, regardless of count.
Michael Lorenzen will hit for Castillo, and I would imagine will come in to pitch. Recently homered in 3 consecutive plate appearances and lost his helmet on that swing. Batting .500. It's 4 for 8. Scooped by Russell, throw to first in time. Hey, Cub fans, download the MyBona Rewards app today and follow along for your chance to score free beef sandwiches throughout the season. Hamilton doubled with 2 outs in the 3rd. Stole 3rd and scored on the single by Peraza to get the Reds on the board.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Reds look like after the trade deadline. And they're playing really good baseball right now, and I'm sure Reds fans in Cincinnati were like, hey, this is great, don't break up this club. That might be a mistake. Matt Harvey, the assumption is he'll be dealt. Billy Hamilton, with his skill set, would be intriguing to a team in the race. Scooter Gennett.
Suarez is not going anywhere. He signed a long-term extension earlier this year.
Yeah, and it would be tough in the clubhouse, but if you're the front office, you got to do what's right for your club down the road.
And it sounds like no matter how well they play under Jim Riggleman, they're going to wait until after the season to name a permanent manager. Hamilton walks, so he's on yet again. That is the 9th reach in this series for Billy Hamilton.
Right, so if you're advancing this series, or if you're a pro scout with the trade deadline coming up and you're watching Hamilton play, you have to be impressed by what you're seeing here. Is a guy just in a hot streak, or is it a player who light has come on and he's starting to step up his game? And even without that, if he's the same guy we've always seen, still with the defense and the ability to steal bases,
strike to Peraza.
A huge addition for a pennant contending club, and even more importantly for a team in the postseason.
Lester kind of quick pitched him. Went to the set and then very quickly slide step to the plate. Does it again, and Hamilton is going to be safe, and he's going to head to 3rd. And he rounds, and he's going to try to score, and he's going to be safe. Ball got away from Contreras. Hamilton got a little lucky there in that he was watching the center fielder and not his third base coach, and he should have been out, but the throw did not get to Contreras in the air, and they have the lead.
Yeah, and Albert kind of mishandles it out here in center field. Here, and then he doesn't get right after it. That was the problem. Almost like he was trying to bait Hamilton to run, and that's probably not a good idea because you just don't know what's going to transpire at home plate.
You saw Hamilton really slowed himself by looking over his shoulder several times, so that'll be a double error. It'll be stolen base, E2, E8.
Yeah, and that's just, for Albert, that's just a game you don't want to play out there trying to bait somebody, if indeed that's what was going on. That's what it looked like.
Wow.
Yeah, may have been that, yeah, so he's kind of looking at Hamilton. Maybe he just didn't want to take his eye off of Hamilton. Should have got on that ball more quickly.
So Contreras tried to backhand that Short hop. That was a tough run to give up. Jim Hickey just got squared up in the Cubs dugout. Just a flesh wound.
Tougher than a $2 steak,
Yeah.
that guy.
Base hit out in the left center. And Peraza will not test the Cubs outfield this time. Third career error for Almora, and I guess the irony here is that, you know, John and Wilson have been great these last couple of years at stopping the running game, which was a big problem for John 2 years ago. But that whole sequence wasn't really on him at all. Give up a stolen base, you can live with that. As Almora will make the grab. So an unearned run for the Reds. And they lead again. Trucks, guts, glory, Ram. Off to California. 6 games over 7 days leading into the break. 3 in San Francisco. Off day Thursday. 3 at San Diego. And that run was earned on the top of the 5th. So 4 earned runs charged to John Lester so far. And now Michael Lorenzen in to pitch for Cincinnati after pinch hitting for Castillo.
19th appearance for Lorenzen. He spent some time on the DL earlier this year. His game is kind of like Castillo's in that he's a high velocity guy who likes to sink the fastball. But, more slider in terms of his better secondary pitch than the changeup that we saw from Castillo.
Lorenzen's 26, really put together, 6'3", 217.
Yeah, if they had a team arm wrestling competition, I might put my money on Lorenzen.
And if you're the Cubs and you had to have someone go against him, Jason Hayward would be a good choice, 6'5", 240. Power forward matchup here. And the 0-2 is in the dirt.
Barnhart using an outstanding technique even with nobody on base to block the ball in the dirt. Practice the way you play mentality.
Off the outside corner.
Iglesias, their closer, was down yesterday. You have to assume he's back in play today.
He walked him.
Cubs baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Join the team that enjoys responsibly. Budweiser reminds you to drink wiser. Hello, everybody in the park. How are things in Gallagher Way? Everybody good? Seem to be having a good day out there. Like they're trying to land an airplane out there.
Fouled away by Baez. How many All-Stars? What's your over-under? Cubs?
Cubs?
NL All-Stars.
3.
Yeah, that's a good number.
It's always hard, you know. There's always deserving guys that get left off.
I'm going to say the over-under is 3.5 because I think it'll be 3 or 4.
Well, Brandon Morrow would be a candidate. To go along with the guys we talked about earlier.
Remember 2016, half the team went. On a hot, kind of tailor-made. 6, 4, 3. Can't hit it much harder.
No, the Cubs hit into double plays less frequently than any team in the league, but this is fairly routine, sharply hit. The feed was a little soft from Peraza. He's back on his heels. Not able to make the turn. He got on top of that throw too. We've seen Jeanette make a lot of throws sidearm in this series. He's been plagued by some arm issues. He kind of lower, but still a lower arm angle, but not that sidearm sling we've seen previously.
Scooter Jeanette probably saying, "Give me a little more time to get
yeah,
out of the way."
Like, don't float me that feed with the tight end coming down on me.
Guessing the Reds will have 2 All-Stars. As Rizzo tried to bunt toward third and fouled it. Suarez and Jeanette would be the logical choices. One and 2. So Dave Roberts and A.J. Hinch, correct, will manage the respective All-Star teams. Let's see Anthony's spray chart. Balls hit 200 feet or less. And soft liners and grounders. 2 and 2. Ball out into right. Winker was playing in the corner and really deep, but he'll come in and make the catch. At the end of 5, the Reds lead the Cubs by 1. Chicago fans. I'm sailing. I sail. Dr. Leo Marvin. I'm sailing.
And what about Bob?
Very underrated.
Walking down Michigan Avenue last night, and there was a guy playing the guitar, and I think he was playing Christopher Cross, sailing.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but that's what it sounded like.
Nothing better than some yacht rock in July. Pitch number 70 for Lester, and the curveball fouled by Votto.
Guy that covers so many tough pitches. How about the intentional front door high breaking pitch? If that would play.
He lines to Russell. Fourth drive of the game. Line drive homer, 110 off the bat of Eugenio Suarez. That needed 3-2 Cincinnati at the time. Suarez leads the National League in RBIs, OPS, and OPS plus. And he's got an 11-game hitting streak.
OPS plus factors into account the home ballpark. And it's a very good hitter's park that he plays in. So you would think in terms of OPS that would hurt him a little bit, and it does, but that's how good he has been.
Yeah,
despite that, he still leads the league in that department.
OPS plus of 161. So basically he's been 60% better than the league average. So if you're at 100 on that, you're kind of representing the league. One and two on him. If you're Russell and Happ, anything on the ground, you've got to be ready. Cubs first pick, Nico Horner, homered yesterday for the first time with Eugene. So he's just getting his pro career underway. Cubs made this announcement on Friday. Able to sign 32 of their picks. I want to say 3 first-round picks around baseball did not sign.
Yeah. Normally that's all buttoned up before the draft, you know, with the slot money. You've talked to the player about his signability. If you're willing to sign for this, we're going to take you with the first pick in the draft, our first pick. And the player says, yeah, I'm in. And
not all is lost, because I believe the Dodgers were one of those teams. The teams that did not sign that pick, they'll get, I believe, a compensatory pick next year. Suarez stays alive. The run being earned in the 5th inning, even though there were 2 errors to score Hamilton. He had stolen second, remember, and then Peraza singled. So as the official score recreates the inning without the errors, the thought was Hamilton would have scored on the base hit. That makes the run earned. Ground ball to third. Happ drops it, but he still has time, and he gets it. Hey, all you Parrot heads, Jimmy Buffett is actually here at the ballpark, and he and the Coral Reefer Band return to Wrigley Field this coming Friday, July 13th. Just announced, Gallagher Way will host Chicago's official Son of a Sailor pre-show celebration starting at noon in honor of Jimmy Buffett's return to Wrigley. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com/concerts. Hi, Jimmy. Got a great hand when he was shown on the left field board. Want to know on Jeanette. That's foul. A little old school today for John Lester and the Cubs. Not a lot of starters go deep as it is, and then when guys are trailing in the middle innings, they tend to be lifted, but his pitch count is so low. Through at least 6 today, and only trailing by a run as the Cubs will bat.
Field has to offer for your next client, corporate, or family function, like the all-inclusive Fannie Mae suite located in center field. Visit Cubs.com/premier for an option that fits your needs.
Beautiful shot from left. Huge crowd once again. Been a fun homestand. Cubs are 6-1 so far. Every game has been a matinee. We adjust the body clock with West Coast baseball starting tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll be ready for bed by the 3rd inning. Night game out there. It's going to be a challenge. 2 for 4 yesterday for Wilson. A career high 4th consecutive multi-hit game. 1 so far here today.
So upcoming, it's Kyle Hendricks against a left-hander, Andrew Suarez, tomorrow night. Jose Quintana and Johnny Cueto, just his 2nd start back from the DL. Wednesday afternoon, Mike Montgomery against Derek Rodriguez. You see the resemblance? My favorite Pudge Rodriguez's son.
Yeah. When I was in Houston, we had Pudge for a little while, and I remember his kid being on charter a couple of times. I said, that kid's going to be a big league pitcher someday.
He said that, or you did?
I didn't really say it.
2-2. And it's full on Contreras, who has started July 10 out of 17. Lorenzen worked around a leadoff walk in the 5th. And strikes out Contreras to start the bottom of the 6th.
It stands to reason that Pudge's kid would have a good arm. He's that good slider we talked about. Let's see, that's a higher arm angle, good tilt on the breaking pitch.
Yeah, in terms of athleticism behind the plate, the whole package, throwing arm. Pudge was as good as it gets. And he could hit.
He was really good the other way. He did a lot of damage to the outfield.
Career 296, 311 home runs. His 300th was as an Astro, and it was here in 2009. And I remember the home run for this reason. The fan who caught it literally threw that ball back onto the field. Typically, when the home run lands in the bleachers, the fan then exchanges that ball for a BP ball or whatever. And the fan who caught Pudge's 300th had no idea that it was a milestone homer. Could have gotten a bat or a jersey out of it.
Rookie mistake.
Two and two to Kyle. Walk, double, 2 runs. Called strike 3. Once again, let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN. Rubber game today. Reds lead the Cubs 4-3 bottom 6. Great to have you with us as always. Swing and a miss by Happ. Starter Castillo went 4. Lorenzen has a chance to grab a win in relief. And he'll likely get a couple of at bats. He's due 3rd in the 7th. 1-2.
Good let up there. He's got all the weapons. When he first came to the big leagues, they used him as a starter. Did not go well. 2015, he made 21 starts and 6 appearances out of the pen. He was 4-9 with a 5.40.
Popped up, shallow center. Peraza, the shortstop, is there, and so is Hamilton. And the Cubs go 1-2-3 for the first time today. Budweiser. The Triptides was Sunday in the Park. And it sounds like that song was written for today.
Saturday in the Park was already taken.
Want to know on Adam Duvall. John Lester still working, and this is probably it as he's due that second in the bottom of the seventh. How about this one? He's only gotten one swing and a miss all day. He struck out Winker in the fifth. That was looking. Billy Hamilton is the only Red to swing and miss today. So John has utilized his defense a lot. There's another cut and miss.
Elevated fastball, and that's something he's used a little bit more this year, not necessarily today. The elevated fastball. You see Contreras rising up, asking for that pitch. Lester delivers. He had similar outing against the Dodgers here. And that one he gave up a lot of hard contact, but 7 shutout innings with just 1 strikeout a few starts ago.
Trying to keep the Cubs within 1 here. And a shot. Possibly it is 8th consecutive win. He's won his last 7 starts. First time in his career he's done it. He's going to need some offensive support in order to continue that streak. Strop still up. Gorman saw the hands and said, "You offered at it." Well, Brian got it right. Here's Winker. Reds continue their road trip after Cleveland after this one. They call that the Ohio Cup Series, right?
Oh yeah,
You're unfamiliar?
I am. Makes sense though, given that they're both in Ohio.
Yeah, the annual Ohio Cup. Reds have won or tied 12 of the first 20 Ohio Cup season series.
Do all the players get their names engraved on the cup? Get to take it home in the offseason and parade it around town?
Three and one. Lorenzen is on deck. Drive to left for Winker. So this California trip coming up, All-Star game on the 17th. A 5-game series due to the day-night makeup on the 21st against the Cardinals right out of the break.
Gives you an idea how well-respected Michael Lorenzen is as a hitter. Joe's making a pitching change here. With Lorenzen due up.
So Lester's winning streak will come to an end. He gets a nice hand as he exits, and we'll be right back.
Bring your family out and enjoy the Under Armour All-American game here at Wrigley Field. This is your first chance to catch the country's top high school baseball players. Get free, underlined free, tickets while they last. Available in person at the Cubs store at Gallagher Way. Limit 6 tickets per person. No purchase necessary. For more information, visit Cubs.com/UA game.
Here's Pedro Strop, a man on, 1 out. And the pitcher Michael Lorenzen batting. He pinch hit in the 5th and grounded out. He bunts. And Strop fires to Rizzo for the out. Throw back to second, goes into left. But Winker will hold.
Winker was unaware as that went into left till the very last. He's just worried about getting back into home. He's not sure Russell didn't catch that ball. He wouldn't have been able to advance anyway because Schwarber was in a good position out there to back up.
Big day again for Hamilton. Double, walk, 2 steals. He's got 5 stolen bases the last 2 days. Biggest issue for him throughout his career has been getting on base, but he's done it a ton lately. He's been a terror once he's gotten on base. Hey, Natalie and Sydney Segedi, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the last name, but happy 13th. And their family in from Cottage Grove, Minnesota to celebrate. So the best John Lester can hope for today is a no decision. 6 1/3 so far, 4 runs allowed. Happy 45th wedding anniversary to Bob and Danita Lampy from McHenry, Illinois. That's Baez. Hamilton retired for the first time today, and it is time for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
For this afternoon stretch, please direct your attention to the outfield video board.
Hey, let me hear you. Good and loud. On one, on two, on three. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Oh, it's root for the Cubbies. If they gonna win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Underway in the Cubs' 7th. Michael Lorenzen in his 3rd inning of relief work. Oh, 2 on Russell, who's knocked in all 3 Cubs runs. David Hernandez on the left is a right-hander. Kyle Crockett on the right is the lefty. We've got Davy Crockett out there.
There was a Daniel Boone that pitched in the big leagues years ago.
There was a Dave Crockett too.
Yeah, a long time ago.
There's Carl Edwards Jr. recently off the DL.
Cubs coming into play today had a plus run differential of 104. 71 of which has come from the 7th inning on.
Had an 0-2 count earlier, but it was actually 1-1. So 3-2 on Russell.
7th inning where a lot of games are decided. The Cubs have outscored their opponents in the 7th inning this year 71-32.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Lorenzen comes back to get him.
Still time to plan a group outing for a game here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs offer ticket packages that include special perks for groups of 15 or more. To book your group experience, visit Cubs.com/groups.
Ben Zobrist for Strop. I thought John was pretty good today. 6 1/3. It will not be a quality start because he gave up 4 earned runs. But certainly victimized on the double error play that scored the go-ahead run in the 5th. A hot hitter in Suarez got him for the 2-run homer, but he utilized the double play ball on a couple of occasions.
Very efficient early.
Yeah.
And whether it's, obviously the Reds were super aggressive early, but that's the trade-off when you come out swinging like that. You got a chance to do some damage, but you can make quick outs and cut the pitch count. And pretty economical for John.
Zobrist grounds to Jeanette. 2 away in the Cubs 7th.
When you think about it, we talk about how John is so tough-minded. You know, he doesn't give in. So if you're an opposing hitter, you can understand. You know, I'm going to go up early and try to do some damage if he throws the ball over the plate, because, you know, even in a hitter's count, he's not going to give in to me. You know, you can't have that same mindset. I'm just going to work counts, force him to throw me a fastball over the heart of the plate, 2-0, 3-1, because John won't do it. He just keeps pounding away at corners. He just doesn't give in.
Inside edge strike to Almora. Albert 0 for 3. That's rolled into center. He's 1 for 4, and it'll give Hayward a chance. And a man on and 2 outs. And the Reds chatting in the dugout, and it looks like Jim Riggleman's going to make a change.
Davy Crockett.
It will be the left-hander Kyle Crockett against Jason Hayward when we return. 4-3 Reds, 7th inning. First 2 outs, 7th inning.
Big league time for Crockett this year. 8 appearances, no wins, no losses. 2.45 the ERA. It's 3 2/3. Specialty left-hander. Formerly with the Indians, so he knows all about that coveted Ohio Cup. He's been right in the middle of it. He's with Cleveland, now with Cincinnati.
Well, if you want to know more about that trophy, you should talk to him.
Yeah, he would know. They should let the Columbus Clippers get a piece of that action. He's got a little funk in his delivery. Very good at inducing ground balls. He throws fastballs, sliders, and a changeup. He's not a power arm. 88, 89, 90-ish with the heater.
Ball 1 to Hayward. Jason has walked twice and been caught looking, so he's had a pretty patient day at the plate. One more of the runner, and Crockett will throw over. One and one. One-run ball game. Bottom of the seventh. A pick toss.
8 guys in the Reds bullpen. Crockett and Garrett. Amir Garrett, who we saw yesterday, the other left-hander. Baez is on deck. You saw Hernandez getting ready out there. So if he doesn't get Hayward, we may see Hernandez for Baez.
Into right, and a base hit. Winker playing very deep out there, and Almora will head to third. 2-out rally here in the seventh.
Third reach for Jason. The 2 walks and now solid single to right. And Riggleman does come bouncing out of that dugout. He wants his right-hander for Javi.
Jason with his first hit of the series, and it could loom large. Another pitching change. Cubs threatening with 2 outs in the seventh. We're right back. If Baez has something up his sleeve here today, facing David Hernandez, first and third, trailing by a run in the seventh. Javi. The crowd chanting. Slider strike from Hernandez.
He's got good breaking stuff. He's got a good arm. He's a veteran. He's been around a long time. First with Baltimore, then Arizona. 26 times he has pitched for the Reds this year. He posted a 2.08 ERA. He's allowed just the 1 home run.
The home run was to Baez, who bunts. Foul. It was an interesting home run yesterday. You and I both agreed off the bat. It didn't feel like a home run. It carried all the way into the bleachers.
Yeah, it just speaks to his strength and how strong his hands are, because the weight looked gone. It looked to me like he kind of pulled off a little bit.
Hayward runs. Ground ball up the middle. Peraza can't get it. And we're tied. Hayward's going to try to score. Through the plate. He's in. Cubs lead. Baez toward third. Oh, baby. More magic. when Baez is involved.
It's contagious. I love the passion that Jason Hayward is playing the game with, man. It's been fun to watch. Beats this one into the ground. It's got some top spin. Hamilton just kind of floats this one back into the infield. Jason never quit on the play.
So the last two go-ahead runs scoring when runners have taken advantage of an outfielder maybe assuming a bit too much. So they give Baez 2 RBIs on the hit and an error on Jeanette, allowing Baez to get to third.
I mentioned the run differential in the 7th inning, and it continues here today. Win the 7th, win the ball game.
Ground ball to Jeanette. Cubs get 2 with 2 outs. Baez knocks in a pair. Excellent base running by Jason Hayward. And the Cubs lead 5-4. Jason Hayward's heads-up base running, giving him that go-ahead RBI.
Yeah, I think that's that kind of forced the issue of mindset of the base runners. It's pervasive, and seen Baez do it. Contreras really pushes it. Hayward, you know, he's a very smart player. He makes very few mistakes in the field or on the bases. A calculated risk, and it paid off.
Top of the order for the Reds against Carl Edwards Jr. Second appearance since coming back from the disabled list. Dealing with a right shoulder issue. Struck out Adam Duvall on 4 pitches in his return Friday. 1-1 to Peraza. Joel will use whatever it takes to get through this 8th. He's got Cishek and Wilson up. Brewers lead late 6-1. Bottom of the 7th against Atlanta. Cubs are a game and a half out. Curveball high, 2-1. So John Lester's winning streak will not end. A stretch of winning 7 consecutive starts will, but the Cubs still have a chance to win, now leading late.
Yeah, he did his part today. Solid effort from John.
Ball 4.
Edwards is going to have to keep a close eye on Peraza.
Tucker Barnhart will bat left-handed for the first time today. That's why the Cubs have won most of those games.
Peraza 16 out of 18 in stolen base attempts.
Peraza takes off, swing and a miss. Here's the throw, not in time. Peraza actually had his hands on his knees. Didn't look like he was thinking about running, and then he took off and just stole his 17th.
Now, Carl's not particularly quick to home plate, and takes him a while to get unfolded there, and it was a breaking pitch too, so a lot of things conspiring against Contreras there, trying to throw out the speedy Peraza.
Well, he took a direct route, and there was no looking at home plate. Cornermen in now. Barnhart bunts, pretty hard bunt. Throw goes to third. Out! They got him on the tag. Big play by Edwards and Happ.
Yeah, Reds playing a little small ball here in the 8th, trying to get that tying run over to third base. A lot of clubs would argue, a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't play for a tie on the road. The bunt is hard. Edwards is on it in a hurry.
Ooh, is he out?
Looked like they got him. Peraza's trying to go to the back corner of the bag.
Yeah, I think he got him. Joe's going to make a change. No challenge by Jim Riggleman. Good call over there at third by Adrian Johnson. So Barnhart with a fielder's choice on the bunt. Justin Wilson will face Joey Votto when we return. Justin Wilson against Joey Votto. Pinch runner now at first base. Dilson Herrera making his Reds debut. And Votto cuts and misses, so he's running for Barnhart.
What a huge play by Edwards. I'm sure Jim Riggleman questioning himself, man, because the bunt there, obviously if you get it down, it's good news for the Reds, but you're taking an RBI opportunity away from Votto, or a man in scoring position anyway. He's batting just $157 against Justin.
Called strike 2.
Yesterday's game of the day before, where Peraza, they tried to bunt him over and Rizzo made the play, and Peraza couldn't even attempt to get to third base.
Herrera has pretty good speed. He's a former Met. And Wilson will fire over. Not a very big lead by Herrera. A 2-run 7th, giving the Cubs a 1-run lead late. Good leg kick and the pitch, and chipped foul by Votto. Votto in 2-strike mode. On pause by Wilson. Here it is. Inside.
You know how the Cubs like to joke around? Loosey-goosey attitude. Wouldn't it be fun if Joe had Jim Hickey call down to the bullpen and say, hey, get James Norwood up, tell him he's got the ninth.
Yeah, for his major league debut. Yeah.
Kid that hasn't even been in Major League spring training before, just to watch his face.
Strike 3. Votto is out. Wilson did his job, and that'll be it for him. Steve Cishek against Eugenio Suarez when we return. Now Cishek.
Takes a village. Sometimes at least half a bullpen to get through a tough inning, and Cishek has been a very reliable guy. He's on for the 41st time. He's 2-0 with a 185. And there's no way you want to let Suarez swing at the lefty. I mean, he's really good against everybody, but wearing out left-handed pitching.
Wind is a little left to right-ish, or right to left-ish, I should say, as Suarez just got hit by that pitch. Fastball at 90. So the tying run will be in scoring position, and the batter is Scooter Gennett, the league leading hitter.
Yeah, I wasn't ouching because of the pain for Suarez. I was ouching because of the result for Cishek. So he loses his platoon advantage. Tying run gets into scoring position. Go ahead run gets on base. Rosario, the other lefty, worked 2 1/3, 2 2/3 yesterday, so he's down today.
Nick Frangella checking on Wilson Contreras. So Herrera, the pinch runner, is in scoring position. Gennett has hit into a double play, walked and grounded out, and takes a slider for a strike. Cishek has been good in his career against both righties and lefties. He is not just a specialist. Even though the arm angle makes you think that. Inside move just to let Herrera know he's paying attention. Cubs have used the guys they've used the most in these tight games this season. A high fly ball to right. Hayward coming in, still battling the sun. He makes the catch, inning over. Reds lead 2. Cubs will bat with a 1-run lead in the 8th. He found the ball out of the sun. Hayward gives the thumbs up. Thank you. So the Cubs maintain their 1-run lead. Boy, it's nice to get through that part of the Reds' order. Kurt Casale now catching after Barnhart was lifted for the pinch runner. Hernandez gets a blown save. Hope everybody's all right. And scattering the dugout. The pitcher of record, though, is Crockett, as Hayward scored. Crockett allowed Hayward to reach on a single. Popped into shallow right. Winker charging, and he's got it. Brandon Morrow, first Cub to save at least 20 games before the All-Star break since Kerry Wood had 24 in 2008.
You know, likelihood the Brewers will win their game. They lead 6-1 bottom of the 8th over Atlanta.
Fouled off. Well, this has been hard fought. If the Cubs can hang on, that would be. And if it's the same score, every game in this series will have been decided by 1 run. 3-2 Reds Friday, 8-7 Cubs. A comeback win yesterday and leading 5-4 right now. Two and one. Jesus Aguilar has homered again for Milwaukee today. He's got 21. Swing and a miss for strike 3.
Doesn't somebody give out a breakout player of the year award or something like it? I've heard of that in the past. He would certainly be a candidate.
We can make it up.
Yeah, or maybe it's just maybe some writers in the columns. Here's my breakout player of the year. But
well, he was good last year, but more of a platoon player.
I think he's gooder this year.
I would agree.
So
he's less bad this year.
He's more good.
A good homestand. Cubs trying to make it a great one. If they win today, it would be 7-1. And during this stretch of 9 consecutive day games, it would be 8-1. On ball, Peraza near the bag, picks it, throws, and the Cubs go in order, and we go to the 9th. Brandon Morrow against Adam Duvall in a moment. Vince Lodel is our associate producer. Paula Skroba, our stage manager in the booth. The executive producer is Bob Vorwald. Christina Ballas, our studio coordinator. Back at our WGN studios, and David Bodie in to play third. Ian Happ will head out to left. Schwarber is out.
Morrow is in. Closer pitching for the 32nd time. 20 out of 21 in save opportunities. Number 20 came yesterday. Worked a 1-2-3 ninth inning.
There's Happ down left. He started the game at third. And strike to Adam Duvall. Winker on deck, and then probably Scott Schebler, left-handed bat. That's hit a ton, and we are tied. Adam Duvall with his 14th. 2 pitches into the 9th inning. He crushed it.
Yeah, no doubt about that one off the bat of Duvall. The last couple of years he's been a 30-plus home run man. That's number 14 this year. The second one that Morrow has allowed this year. Remember, the first one came after a long homerless streak. Like a cutter that basically sat there for Duvall. It was up. He had to work a little bit to get to it.
It's the second home run Morrow's allowed in 2 seasons. He did not allow a home run all of last year with the Dodgers. Winker went around. It's 0-2. So the Reds, after wasting an opportunity in the 8th, had a man at second with nobody out, did not score, get the home run from Duvall here in the 9th. Jared Hughes is up. He took the loss yesterday.
Iglesias too in the foreground there, starting to play a little catch.
Ground ball, backhanded play, Baez.
Pretty play, moving to his right, staying low, glove out in front.
Schebler off the bench. We saw Hughes up for the Reds. Their closer, Raisel Iglesias, as well. But almost every manager on the road saves his closer until they get a lead. Swing and a miss, pitch in the dirt, 0-2. I know you do not aspire to be a big league manager, but would you employ your closer thusly on the road?
I would. No. I mean, not all the time. I think you need to be flexible. I think you have to consider who's coming up for the opposing club. I kind of like my best guy on their best guy's philosophy late in the game.
And if you get a lead, you deal with it then?
Yeah. But, you know, it's just easy to sit up here and espouse such theories. If I were to go down there and lose without losing my closers, there would be columns written, blogs, angry phone calls to the radio station.
Deshays doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh, this guy thinks he's smarter than everybody else. He thinks he's Gabe Kapler.
Ground ball, base hit. Well, you joked earlier about James Norwood, and he could be in play in extra innings if we get there.
Yeah, it's kind of the job that has fallen to Luke Farrell this year. Luke, with limited experience as well, has been thrown into the fire in some of these extra inning games and had that memorable performance against the Mets.
Now that home run a rarity for sure.
Especially for a guy as aggressive as Morrow. I mean, he throws a lot of, here it is, boys, see if you can hit it. You would think that approach would be somewhat vulnerable to the long ball, but his stuff is so good. He has movement, he creates weak contact and a lot of times no contact. He's got swing and miss stuff.
The last right-handed batter prior to Duvall to take Morrow deep was Alex Guerrero of the Dodgers back in 2015. A fly ball to left. Happ will make the grab. That's when Morrow was with the Padres. So 2 outs, runner at first, and the batter Jose Peraza. Five, ninth inning. Now the biggest counter to saving your closer on the road is simply that you don't use your best pitcher in a 10, 11, 12 inning game that you might not win.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the philosophy behind it. And his job is to preserve leads. And you want to have that guy delayed steal here.
Delayed steal, and he's safe. As Baez came ahead of the bag to retrieve the throw from Contreras, Shebler steals second.
A headsy play by Shebler. I was contemplating straight steal there. He runs pretty well. Morrow gets rid of it quickly too, so I think he did the calculus and said, you know, straight steal when Morrow pretty quick to the plate and Contreras behind the plate, that's probably not going to play. So he opts for the delayed steal, and it pays off.
His third of the season. And now an outfield hit could give the Reds the lead. Peraza takes a strike. It's 1-2. He is a good contact man. He does not strike out often. Morrow is a strikeout pitcher. We'll see what gives.
Two strikes, especially Peraza, much more likely to hit the ball to the opposite field, and Hayward is towards the line and shallow. Normally you think any base hit to the outfield with 2 outs would score that run, but a line drive to right, Hayward's going to have a real shot at Shebler.
Morrow's strikeout rate 25.5%. That is above Major League average, but not necessarily real high compared to some other fireballers around baseball these days. He is set for a 2-2. Swing and a miss. He gets Peraza. Reds tie it up on the Duvall homer, 5-5. Cubs have a chance to win it when we come back. Pirates with a couple of defensive changes, highlighted by Jared Hughes on the mound. Scott Schebler stays in and plays right. Winker is out.
He was a sinker baller. Suffered a blown save and was charged with a loss in the ball game yesterday.
Russell has knocked in 3 and takes a strike. It's 1-1.
He works quickly, throws a lot of sinkers down below the knees.
Hughes has now been employed by 3 of the 5 NL Central teams: Pirates, Brewers, and now Reds. Scott Schebler.
He's having all kinds of problems with balls in the air yesterday.
Everything
Just seeing the ball.
down.
He's having a hard time tracking the ball. It's on a tough sky here today, breezy and bright. And Ben Zobrist made a little adjustment yesterday, moved up in the box a little bit, and it paid off.
David Bodie and then Albert Almora, 3 right-handed hitters to start the night. Here it comes. He struck him out.
Late sinking action, even on the one that's up a little bit.
A little fade at the end against Russell. So it's Bodie. First plate appearance today. Bounding ball gets into right. Winning run is on base. Well, a rookie who's barely played at this level. It's weird to say, but he gives you a professional at bat, doesn't he? Every time up. Very mature approach.
He's now 3 for 6 as a pinch hitter.
He's only had 42 major league plate appearances. He's got a good lead. He's not running, and he will go this time and make a turn around second.
Hangs on to it a little too long. Wild pitch charge to Hughes. Winning run in scoring position. Seem to recall Albert delivering a walk-off not too long ago, shooting a base hit into right field.
Luke Farrell heating up. Hughes with a 1-1. It's 1-2. Save for Morrow, but the Cubs score here, he'll get the victory. 5-5 bottom 9. Couple of wild games on the Sunday of this homestand. 11-10. The Cubs beat the Twins last week. Ground ball, base hit. Bodie's going to stop at third. First and third for Hayward.
I like the idea of Hayward being the hero today. The way things went down last inning, the base running, a couple innings back. Duvall just gooses his throw in, and the stop sign had been put up a long time ago. Here's Hayward earlier. Remember this one against the Phils.
Jim Riggleman coming out, and we'll talk strategy. And the decision he's got to make here is how he employs his middle infielders. You assume the corner guys will be in. And remember yesterday, the game-winning run scored, first and third, 1 out. Baez took off. That kept the Cubs out of the double play, and with the middle infield back, Rizzo ended up with an RBI on a ground out. I don't think Jim Riggleman wants to lose a game that way today.
No, he's got to bring his guys in at least halfway in, but I would think all the way in. This is a situation where some guys would employ an extra infielder, bring one of the outfielders in, especially with a guy like Hughes on the mound, a sinker baller who gets so many ground balls.
So infield in, Jeanette not all the way.
Yeah, they're trying to hedge here. They're trying to create a situation where they're in, but still have the option, depending on the type of ground ball they get, where they could turn 2 in the middle.
A bunt is always in play here too. There's a chopper, Gavado, and they've got Bodie caught, but he's safe. Bases loaded.
Smart play.
So I guess it worked out for both teams in a way. Certainly for the Cubs, they don't mind having them loaded, and for the Reds, the game didn't end.
Yeah, that's just such a smart play by Bodie. He thinks about it, and then once he sees the throw home, he scrambles back to third base. Now, Votto, if he holds the ball and runs towards him, he's got an opportunity to make a play on him at third.
No hit for Hayward. It's a fielder's choice, and guess who? Javier Baez. Go ahead, 2-run single in the 7th. And the Reds are going to bring Duvall into the infield. They'll have Hamilton in left center, Schebler in right center, and Duvall's going to get a new glove. Hamilton is actually a natural middle infielder. However, he's got all that speed. He could maybe catch a blooper.
They have a chance of throwing it out too on a medium deep fly ball. He's got a good arm.
Bases loaded, 1 out. The pitch to Baez. Fouled at the plate.
Double single, 2 driven in already today for Javi, who lives for moments like these.
The 0-1 pitch, chopped toward third, it's foul, and it's 0-2.
Got to find a way to get underneath the baseball. That sinker, it's down around the knees. It's almost impossible to square it up. You're going to hit the top of the baseball every time.
Big 0-2 coming up. Ground ball to second. Throw to the plate. Out right there. What a pick by Casale on the short hop for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, a little regrip there at the end by Casale on the pick, and Joe's going to take a look at the video here to make sure he had control.
Yeah, he's going to challenge. Why not?
Watch. It's a real slick play, but as this play continues.
Was his foot on the bag?
On the plate.
Or on the plate.
Wow. That's hard to say. I mean, it wasn't. He may have gotten back there. But I think what got Joe's attention initially was at the very end how he kind of regrips the ball in his glove as if he didn't have control. It looked pretty clean here.
But the other question is, when did Bodie get to home plate? And that little lean back by Casale may have been in time.
Wow. Yeah.
This is really close.
Yeah. He's going to be okay on the catch part of it.
Okay, so right now his foot is on the plate. It
now
is
it's
off. Now keep running as the foot. Does it get back?
Before the knee gets the front corner of the plate. Boy, it's hard to tell.
I think because the initial call was out, it's going to be very tough to overturn. But you never know.
Yeah, there may be a different angle they have.
Wow. Could you imagine? Considering it was Javi Baez who hit the ball, we can't imagine.
I thought they would take a shot upstairs with 2 strikes, even though that's kind of not what Hughes does. And I don't know if he's comfortable trying it, but I thought they'd go elevated fastball. They're going to stand by the call at home plate.
Okay, so Duvall will head back to left. Bases still loaded, 2 outs. The batter is Anthony Rizzo. That is an enormous play by Curt Casale. That little pushback did the trick. So it's Hughes against Rizzo. Hot foul out of play.
Let's just play here the Jeanette part of this play with Hayward on the move, and Hayward just has to kind of bail out. And we've talked about Jeanette having the arm issues, the sidearm sling he's been featuring.
The 1-1 pitch to Rizzo. Line drive. Hamilton will catch it. Hughes finds a way out of it. And we go to extras.
home of the 4 for $4. Now with more choices than ever at participating locations for a limited time. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Audi dealers. Visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional offers on select Audi models. Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet with the best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today. And by Budweiser. Join the team that enjoys responsibly. Budweiser reminds you to drink wiser.
Extra innings. A nail biter to say the least. Seesaw battle, and we're 5-5 now in the 10th inning. Former Red Luke Farrell will pitch. And Victor Caratini into the game for Rizzo, who made the final out of the 9th.
So put Farrell and Anthony's spot in the batting order. Caratini will hit behind Contreras. Luke will pitch for the 18th time. 2 and 3, 432 the earned run average. 25 innings, 24 hits, 33 punch outs against 11 walks. He has been susceptible to the long ball.
Casale with the big defensive play. He'll bat for the first time this afternoon. And he takes a strike on a breaking ball. Casale with not a lot of action with the Reds so far, but it's been really good, hitting .343. They acquired him earlier this season from Tampa Bay. Hit the knob of the bat. Foul ball. That's a break for Farrell.
He didn't even try to sell it. It's either a break or he's so good he could induce the foul ball off the knob of the bat. Strikeout pitch for Farrell. A couple options. Slider down and away or the high heater.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Plan B. Mechanically, he reminds you a little bit of Kyle Hendricks. That's really where the comparison ends. Kyle the sinker ball, changeup guy. Farrell four-seamer slider.
Votto ground ball to Baez. 2 outs.
Alex Blandino is the last man on the bench for the Reds. Tommy La Stella remains for the Cubs.
Milwaukee did beat Atlanta today. 10-3 the final. Suarez batting. Ball strike. On the wind. Fouled off. Well, the Cubs had a great chance in the 9th to win it. But somehow Jared Hughes got out of it. Work by Luke Farrell. Officially an 8-pitch 10th inning. Five tie. And the new pitcher for the Reds is right-hander Jackson Stevens. He has allowed over his last 3 outings combined 7 unearned runs. Contreras, Caratini, and Happ for the Cubs. 6'2", 220 right-hander.
24 years of age.
He made his big league debut against the Cubs last year as a starting pitcher, and he beat Eddie Butler on July 1st.
4-seamer and a sinker. Slider, curve, and change.
Shadows starting to get onto the field down the left field line. 1-1 is low. Cubs left the bases loaded in the ninth.
Suarez down at third guarding the line. Votto is well off the line on the first base side. Well, Wilson has a chance to keep his multi-hit game streak going. Looking for a silver lining.
Leadoff walk. Victor Caratini with his first plate appearance. He's playing first base. Runner at first, nobody out. Caratini bunts foul.
Interesting. That tells me that when Joe looks at his matrix of outcomes with this matchup, he sees a lot of ground balls and he's worried about the double play.
A pitch out. That was a traditional pitch out, which you almost never see these days. Most pitch outs are a lot more subtle.
Yeah, usually just pitch ups. You know, guys will throw an elevated fastball. And this may be the first one we've seen all year where the catchers actually come out from behind home plate.
And you don't see pitch outs for intentional walks anymore. You don't see any pitches for those. Down the left field line, but foul.
Some real versatility in the catching position. Caratini can come in and play first. Contreras can play left. Played the infield when he started his professional career. He can steal a bag for you. He can score from first on an extra base hit.
That gets away. Contreras is going to make it to second. So similar to the ninth inning, Bodie singled with one out and advanced on a wild pitch. This happening with nobody out here in the 10th.
My guess is Barnhart blocks that one. He's back there.
But he might not have made the pick on the throw to the plate, so you never know.
You never know.
Two to Caratini. Would love to pull something on the ground even. Inside. Or walk.
Familiar territory for Stevens. Does not have a lot of experience at this level, pitching in a very hot situation. Seven appearances last year, 4 of which were starts. 14 appearances so far this season with the big club. That's the extent of his major league experience.
They're moving Jeanette in, and Votto as well. They do not want Contreras to advance. And the ground ball to the right side. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So no more bunting. Let's just try to knock this guy in.
Yeah, it's interesting. Riggleman and Freddie Benavides, the former infielder, pulling Jeanette in there. I remember talking to Richard Donnelly, a long-time major league coach years ago, and he always made that case. Rich said, you know why? If we bring the infield in with a man on third, why don't we pull the right side of the infield in with a man on second and give our guys a shot at throwing a runner out on a ground ball to the right side? That would have to be a fairly sharply hit ball with a guy like, Contreras on base, but it's doable. I mean, it's risky, obviously, because you're giving up a lot of range on that side, but interesting.
Manager heading out for another strategy session. Happ will be intentionally walked. So the batter will be Addison Russell. Only downside to that is if all of a sudden Stevens can't find the plate and walks 2 guys and loses. But
well, the other part
of force play at 3 bases is the priority, right?
Yeah. And you got, again, a guy who likes to sink his fastball.
Addison Russell takes outside.
And also a guy with, again, limited experience I think if you had a different guy out there, swing and miss guy with some experience, you might say, look, let's not give in to Happ, but there's a lot of strikeout potential there. Let's see if he'll get himself out.
Russell with a cue shot to first. Votto will field it, and a little bobble, but the out is called. Joe might ask for a crew chief review here. The out was called, but he might not have had possession when he got to the bag. This is bizarre. He did not have the ball. He was taking it out. When he got to first base. Unbelievable. They're going to review it, and I think it's going to be overturned.
Yeah, boy, the most routine of plays. I thought maybe the way the ball was hit had a lot of action on it. I was thinking it might take a real funky hop on him. But the funk comes later as he's trying to take the ball out of his glove. Before he's made contact with the bag, he loses control of the baseball.
Wow.
And I think this is because of all the aggressive base running that the Cubs are doing. They're push, 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 push. Reds are on high alert. So Votto's trying to get that ball out of his glove in case he needs to make a throw.
So Russell is safe. That should be an error on Votto. I think Jim Riggleman is asking Tripp Gibson why they reviewed it, even though Joe lost his challenge earlier. And the reason is, in the 8th inning and beyond, a manager can ask the crew chief for a crew chief review, and you're not going to turn down a manager on a play like that. Error 3. David Bodie, bases loaded.
He got the rally started last inning with a 1-out single to right on the first pitch.
The ball was in the glove, and he took it out too soon. Outside ball 1. Duvall is looking into home plate, and I think the Reds want him to come in. And they're going to have to get him an infielder's glove. I have never seen that play before.
What was the play? Was it Joe Pisarcik, the quarterback, who
supposed to kneel down,
take a knee, and he fumbled the ball? This is akin to that. I mean, just the most routine of plays. And again, I think it's the Cubs, the way they've been running the bases, they're forcing teams into mistakes.
We're going to have Hamilton in right center, Schebler in left center. Bodie fouls. And Joey Votto's body language says it all right now. He has his hands on his knees, his head down. Winning run at third. That's Contreras with 1 out.
You're ready for ball and dirt if you're Contreras. Bodie control the heartbeat, stay calm in a big moment. He seems to be the kind of guy that the moment doesn't get to him.
Stevens set. The 2-1 offer fouled away. 2-2.
He got his first major league home run earlier on the homestand. 4th of July it was, straightaway center field.
Bases loaded, 1 out in the 9th. They could not get the winning run in. Bases loaded, 1 out. 10th inning. A second chance. 2-2. It's full.
Stevens takes a little extra time to gather himself. This is a hard pitch to make, man. A chance to walk in the winning run.
They have done it without a hit here in the 10th. 3-2 to Bodie. 4. Cubs win. Cubs win. 3 walks and the craziest error you'll ever see, and the Cubs beat the Reds 6-5.
It's a good old walk-off walk. The third pass of the inning, one of them was intentional, and Bodie did manage to control the moment. He went out of the zone, found that one fastball back. You could see his frustration at offering it that pitch, but this time he's able to lay off. Cubs go 7-1 on the homestand.
National League. Well, this is the year and the Cubs are
Sing along at home if you'd like.
So come on down to Wrigley Field. We're singing now, go Cubs, go, go Cubs, go. Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go Cubs, go, go Cubs, go. Hey Chicago, what do you say? Here again. You can catch it all on WGN. So stamp your feet and clap your hands.
The last time the Reds and Cubs played a 3-game series here at Wrigley, with all the games being 1-run decisions, was May of 1967. And here's what the Cubs did on the homestand, winning 7 of 8, and they trailed in every game. What a wild day.
Yeah, just crazy stuff going on here. Each team lost a man on the bases earlier in the game, and then an unforgivable mistake by Votto. And then this.
Without a hit, the Cubs win it in the 10th. Unbelievable. And our next WGN telecast of Cubs baseball will be a week from today. Cubs and the Padres to wrap up the first half. 2:30 for the leadoff man. Once again, our final score today in 10. Cubs 6, Reds 5. Chicago Cubs baseball in high definition on WGN has been brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity delivers the fastest internet and the most Wi-Fi coverage throughout your home. For JD and our entire WGN crew here at Wrigley Field, this is Len Casper thanking you for watching Cubs baseball. Stay tuned. The WGN News is next.